Welcome viewers, it's the Lazy Australian with a video review of the Ford F150 Raptor, or we call a Raptosaurus Rex. What Ford do is basically take an F150 at the factory, completely change the suspension and make some other modifications to the vehicle to basically turn it into an off-road racing machine direct from Ford. The differences are mostly here in the suspension. As you can see, it's co-branded Ford Special Vehicles and Fox Racing. And look at the custom machined and forged pieces here. There's a torsion differential as well. What they do is they basically take the F150, start from the suspension and work the way up to turn this into a Raptor. The suspension, it's a serious piece of kit. Fox Racing tell you that the suspension here is like position aware, and what they mean by that is the further you get into the travel of the suspension, the characteristics and dynamics of the feedback and the pushback and all the rest of it change dynamically, which is pretty awesome stuff. It's basically the premise of the Raptor is it's designed to travel at 120 kilometres or 140 kilometres an hour, and what they mean by that is over anything. So road, sand, ice, snow, anything you like. Basically, you'll lose your bottle before the car will stop, and I'm serious about that too. So the suspension and the drivetrain will do anything that you want it to, from jumping over sand dunes to wading through snow. It'll do anything. One of the things I've done really cool is anything that would typically get damaged in your normal forward driving activities is made to be bolted off and replaced, thrown away. So it's plastic guards, so rather than bring the paint all the way to the edge, the paint stops here and the steel stops here, and then you've got plastic guards that just come off and are replaced as you damage them or before you sell the car. That philosophy works across the front of the vehicle as well. No chrome to get scratched, it's all just industrial grade plastic, so scratches and abuse don't sort of show on the vehicle. What you're looking at here is the position lights. Because the suspension is different, Ford are forced to make the car wider to fit the wheels under the guards. Because of that, in the States, it's actually legislated that it has to have these lights as if it's a truck, because it technically now literally is a truck, which is pretty awesome. Most of the parts that shares in common with F150, you can take the lights out and replace them with F150 lights. Most of the motor stuff is shared between the Raptors and the standard F150s, but anything related to body panels is completely different. I'll give you a view of the top. In here in Qatar, they come fully loaded, so that means you get like the racing decals and the Lux Pack standard. You pay extra for this in the States. I just hope the high pressure washer doesn't wash the stickers off, so I've got to pay attention to that. This is not a boy racing car, this is serious stuff, so all this venting here is actually functional. Either let the motor displace its heat or draw in clear air where possible. It's pretty awesome. The 6.2 litre, of course. The side steps are designed for abuse. That's one piece cast steel with very serious channels there to channel out any sand or water or snow or what are you going to throw at it. Nothing sticking to that. A really cool feature, I'll just open the doors and close it. I can't believe this is on every four-wheel drive. They've put lights underneath the wing mirrors, and you're thinking, yeah, that's cool. The fanboys will love how that lights up at night and stuff, but no, it's actually really functional. So you're out in the middle of the bush, there's two vehicles because you shouldn't be out there by yourself. You don't know where you are, you want to stop and talk about something, you both get out of the car, and the light that comes out of that lights up this entire sort of area on either side of the vehicle, so you can look at instructions, share a map, write down some notes, go through a bag, do whatever you like. There's plenty of light. It's really awesome. We've already changed the antenna over for a stubby. We don't listen to the radio here in Qatar at all, so we can go for the cool look rather than being functional. Again, the side vents there are functional. It's not pretend stuff. Pull back a bit for you. We've gone for the 1.5 or the doors, or the Super Crew as it's known. That probably means that you won't be able to import this version into Australia, because I can't see them wanting to, the import guys wanting to crash test these to bring them in. So if you're looking at a Raptor in Australia, it's probably the 4-door version. I'll open the suicide doors. So the suicide doors, once the rear door closes, as it forms a structural member between the top and the bottom, and then the passenger door locks into that. The passenger and driver seatbelt is embedded into the door. We've already got the Gremlins seat in. The interior is it's nice. It's no Audi or BMW, but it does the job. Leather seats, new car smell, chrome around your cup holders and things. We've gone for the silver because we wanted to have the black on black interior. Ford do some crazy things with the interior colours of the Raptor. They put colour where I think the colour shouldn't go. So the best one for us was the black on black. So it's black stitching here, black leather, and your accents are all in black as opposed to a different colour. And your centre console is done in silver grey and not a contrast colour. The one thing that I think Ford really messed up with is the navigation system and the display in the centre it's pretty rubbish, to be honest. It feels really slow and clunky and just doesn't do a good job. They could have really partnered with Garmin or someone who knows what they're doing to do a much better job of that. But no, it does its job, don't get me wrong, but after using a Garmin for years in different cars and stuff, it's Ford and Garmin, there's just no competition at all. It comes with Sync, which is, again, if you've seen the video for the F150, it lets you synchronise your phones with the car to give you full control using Bluetooth. It's really awesome. Not like the base F150, centre console, standard gear selector, not column shift or anything. Surprisingly, even with the centre console here, there's a ton of room in here. There's a ton of room. You could, people could live in there. It's that big. But in the standard F150 with the column shift, there's a lot more storage space. So that's one thing to bear in mind if you need pockets and all that sort of stuff. The F150 is probably going to leave you a little bit short because there's not much storage space apart from what's in the glove box and the centre console. What's really trick is Ford pre-wire. These are all hot wired. Your auxiliary switches, so you don't need to have switches installed onto your dash for things like your lights and your other driving accessories. They're all pre-wired with lead outs ready to be connected to your accessories and made to go, which is really, really awesome. You've got cigarette lighter that you can use for power, as well as a dedicated 12 volt here, which is not bad. And I'll discuss some of the switchware when we get to the driver's side, because it's a little bit disappointing as well. Raptor embroidered into the seats, much like you get on Fords and Holdens back home. Sound system by Sony that sounds really nice. They know the target market. They know that people who buy or are interested in Raptors we're after bass, we're after things that it's going to play our type of music nicely, and the Sony sound system does that. I won't be upgrading the speakers or anything. Interestingly, that just to bear in mind, here in Qatar, because it comes with the Sony pack standard, you lose a whole heap of storage space under the seat. The subbies and the power amps and stuff for the sound system are installed under the rear passenger seat. So you lose that, basically a seat, 1/3 of the rear storage space under the seat. So just bear that in mind if you're looking. She's back from the tinting again, 10% windscreen, 10% driver and passenger, 50% rear and 10% rear windscreen by titanium. It's a 5-year warranty on that here in Qatar. Speakers in the back are in the back doors, subby. Speakers in the door, tweets and so forth. The Lux pack comes with the sunroof. and because there's a sunroof, you lose the second pair of glasses holders in the top if you weren't aware of that. The rear camera on the Raptor comes through the center console, not the mirror. After experiencing every car I've ever had before, it's put the rear camera in the center console, but the F150 puts it in the mirror. And now, knowing what I know, the one in the mirror is much better. So I wish there was an option box that you could tick to get the rear camera put back into the mirror on the Raptor instead of in the center console. Suicide doors. Before I close up, cup holders in the back, vents in the back, and interesting for people out there, you have a 12 volt power connector in the back, as well as a full power outlet that'll take a standard an American socket. So yep, your devices have to have auto switching power, but you can plug in laptops, tablets, phone chargers, anything you like, as long as it fits within the power, the wattage, and it'll power off the car, and you should have the car running for that too, by the way. So that's pretty awesome. Just remember, suicide doors, close the back one first, not the front one, then the back one, or you'll hear a very unsatisfying smash. We'll move towards the rear of the vehicle. Again, the Raptor racing decals that come standard. The rear suspension I'll give you a look at. The exhaust on the Raptor is absolute insanity. I've heard it described as every time you put your foot down, it's as if 50 Harley Davidsons start to chase you, and that's about right, to be honest. The suspension set up in the back, it's hard because the wheels are in the way, and to be fair, I'm not going to climb into the car to show you, but you get the feel of it. It is completely different. Diff locks, everything ready to go. From the back, Raptor badging, SVT, tow points to tow your GMCs and your Chevys out of the shit when they get stuck. Camera under the Ford badge as usual. But what's really, really interesting is that they don't have the rear sonar like on the F150s. So you don't get the assistance of it telling you when objects are close to the back of the car. I'm going to drop the tray and show you something that's really cool. So, they sit pretty high, the F-150 Raptor, so Ford understand that people wanting to move things in the car might find it a little bit hard sometimes. So look what they do for you. Unlock. Up. And let's get the door open. How awesome is that? A grab rail and a step to get you in and out of the back. Just awesome stuff. And locked. The other thing that your contraption you're probably looking at here is the dividers or extenders. Basically what happens is if you want to put a motorbike here in the back, it'll probably fit, but if you've got a bigger than normal motorbike or something like that, then the bed extenders, they rotate around and join up, and they extend the cargo space to the car to the end of the tail here, so you get all that extra space. If you're carrying something heavy that you don't want rolling around, you tie it up, of course, but they can also use the dividers like they are to halve the depth of the tray, which again is just very, very clever engineering. It's something I haven't seen before in a Ute or a pickup other than the Fords. Really good stuff. Of course, you can sit on the back. It'll take all the weight that you want to put on it. No problems with that. Myself and the Gremlin were out at the park the other night, just sitting on the back eating ice cream. So it was pretty cool. The bed line is still coming. There was a bit of a mix-up at the showroom, so they're sorry about that. So they'll give me some discount to get it all fitted and pay for my inconvenience, basically. Moving on to the driver's side, our fuel filler is like the F150, no cap, but an easy fill, so it only activates for Bowsers. Blind spot, this is cool. So We're in Qatar. Nothing gets stolen here, so you usually don't lock your cars or anything like that. But there's a type of situation here in Qatar that you don't have to deal with in Australia or probably the States or anywhere else. And that is it's summertime, it's 50, 55 degrees in the evening. You wanted to go out for a dinner with the lovely demon. You can park the car, leave the keys in the car, leave the car on, and say your AC is running, and then you basically step out of the car and you just press 2 buttons to lock. The car will be in park, it'll be running, the air conditioner's running, keep everything nice and cool. Then when you get back, type in your personal code, door unlocks, hop in and away you go, which is, the greenies and stuff won't like it, and if I was paying nearly $2 for petrol, it probably wouldn't be such an awesome idea, but here in Qatar it's pretty awesome. Again, some of the differences between this and the stock F150, you get nice aluminium inserts for all the doors, which is cool. An extra control on the mirrors so that they electronically fold, just to try to protect them from damage if you're really hooning through the desert or whatever. You've got a lot less room under the seats here in the 1 or the suicide door versions of the F150s. The 4-door has a lot more room to store stuff under there, but they still fold up and away they go. Still got the child seat restraints here for parents, and they've done a pretty good job on the interior. Let me show you something that's really cool. Again, in the States probably used to this, but in Australia you're not. Close the door so I can do this properly. Again, it's summertime, it's 45 degrees or 55 degrees, depending on what time of the day it is. You know that the car's going to be boiling hot when you get back to it. That's no problem. You've got a Ford F150 Raptor. You're sitting in your office. You take out your key and you use your remote start. So it's programmed that your remote start, the AC goes to maximum, and then by the time you get to your car, everything's nice and cool inside and away you go. Easy open doors. What I mean by that is as soon as you unlock the door, the seat moves back. It's a feature standard on many cars from the States. Just throw the key in. There we go. You get a different console to the F150, different colours. I actually prefer the blue of the F150. I know that this is red and it's racier, but yeah, the F150 one looks pretty cool. Many of the applications are the same, although because you're basically getting the tricked up version. Let's turn the fans down. You've got the tricked up version, so everything's got all the different options. The biggest one you see of that is in the truck pawn. So we haven't got a trailer connected. You've got your normal truck pawn, but the Raptor's also got one that shows you the settings for all the different advanced features for forward driving. Unlike even the base F150, you don't get any of the chrome accents on the gauges or anything, but it's supposed to be a practical car. Again, no compromises for forward driving, so you get what you get. Electric trailer brake, standard on the F150 Raptor here in Qatar. Here we got hill descent. Told the computer that you intend to be off-road, so it changes all of the ABS and anti-roll and traction control and all the rest of it. Which leads me to one of the things that sort of pisses me off a bit about the Raptor. Now, it's designed to be an off-road racing machine. We're using it to go off-road sometimes and just to be cool most of the rest of the time. But Ford go out of the way to trick you and make things confusing and make it hard. So, an example, traction control off button in a standard F150. In a Raptor, it's still marked as traction control off, but here in the Raptor, you actually press that to change to sport mode. And to actually turn off the traction control, you have to keep it long pressed. Just that kind of stuff. You reckon they could have saved, they could have spent the extra 50 cents and changed the painting on that button to say traction control rather than off. And again, you want to set this up to be serious off-road, to do different things here. Turn traction control off, hit the off-road button, change yourself to 4 high, 4 low, pull this out to use your diff locks and torsion controls. And again, if this was a Porsche or a BMW trying to do the same thing, there'd probably be one button that you press that automatically does that, or at least a combination of buttons to help you set up the different options. Just one of those things that they could make this a little bit user-friendly if they really wanted to. I'm not giving you a good view of things. The same basic controls in the steering wheel as the F150. Same handbrake, foot brake, same light controls, although you don't have the driving lights because they know that any serious guy is going to put light bars and things on it anyway. The steering wheel is wrapped either in leather or a leather-like substance. They've tried to be cool and put the centre marker here on the wheel, not realising that anybody really can look at the wheel and work out whether or not it's centred or not. You go to one sunglass holder, if I didn't tell you before, when you get the sunroof put in. The material is basically the same as the standard F150. That's the industrial grade. There'll be a nuclear holocaust and the cockroaches will take over the world, but this plastic will still be here type stuff. So that will stand the test of time forever. I've got the door open, so I'll give it a bit of a rev. Yeah, there's no doubting it's 6.2. It's awesome. It's an absolute beast. We'll go around the front of the vehicle. When it's sitting there idling, it's about the same loudness as the 5 litre on the F150. But when you rev it, you really do notice the different note that the exhaust gives it. What we might do is I'll close the camera down now and we'll get you some footage of us driving it and actually using it.